How are you going to rewire your brain for positive thinking? The first is admit you want to do this. That's actually super huge, which means it's important that you recognize if you're having negative thoughts, if you are being overwhelmed or feeling anxious or fearful or just restricted, limited, things like that, because you can rewire your brain. You literally can. And this is the gift, is that it's all in your readiness. That's for sure. Whew. So to rewire it, first admit that you want to do that. That's super huge. The second is begin to notice. Notice when you are having those negative thoughts. Notice when you get reactive, or you may freeze up, or you may avoid things. Oh, I don't want to talk or say something because it might disrupt something. Begin to notice these things, because these are just survival responses that we created as children here, and then we become adults and they still continue on as adults. So recognize that, because we call them negative thoughts. You can call them just contracted or limiting thoughts. You get to rewire your brain so that you can have positive ways of being, expansive ways of being, meaning that you can feel safe and secure, deeply loved and abundant. These are super huge. When you can have them at the subconscious level of the mind, that's where everything changes. Most of us in our consciousness are still working at the conscious level of the mind, where we're making choices, how we can live our lives in the best way we can, but things still aren't changing. Things still aren't maybe getting better or having yourself feel better. That's a sign that it's time to work with your subconscious mind. That's the gift. And that's how you get to rewire your brain, is by working with your subconscious mind. The third is to decide to make the change. It's in your courage and your willingness to say, yes, something does have to change. It is up to you to make the change. Nobody else is going to make this change for you. It's you who are going to make this change. And you can make this change. There's sometimes limitations about, do you believe that you can? And are you truly, really willing to make the changes? The gift comes in is when you can focus on the positive outcomes of the change. That of what can this bring for me? That's going to be your motivation. What would you love to have in your life by rewiring your brain, by actually having responses connected with your divinity, connected with your spirit, your true essence of who you are, the pure love of who you are. This is at the highest level of the work that I offer. This is called PSYCH-K, because the next step is to get assistance. Learn a tool like PSYCH-K. What PSYCH-K offers for you is a way that you get to rewire your brain. Yes, you do. Literally within minutes. It's actually super profound. I learned it 14 years ago. At the time I was married, my husband at the time was diagnosed with leukemia, which was super huge because he was only 45 years old. His dad died the month he turned 50. His sister died the month she turned 50, complications of cancer. So his system was wired thinking he was going to go out like they did. Many of us got programmed and wired in our brains that the genes are what causes or creates everything. So if you have it in your family, you're probably going to get it too. Those are things that you can rewire and change, because it's just a belief. And it was just programs that we got programmed into. You can change those programs. It took about 3 years until my husband at the time was ready for the changes, because the key is you have to be ready for the changes. You have to have the courage and the willingness and go make those changes. And once he did make those changes. And instead of dying at 50, he's just turned 61. That's pretty huge. Pretty huge. Yes, it is. You can do it too. You can rewire things within you that then could be creating either a health issue or a relationship issue, financial issue, even with your careers. Anything that's bugging you, bothering you, challenging you right now, it actually is here for you. Believe it or not, it's here for you. Ooh, it might be hard to admit that. That's for sure. Just imagine that it's here for you. What could it be here for you for? Wow. And that's a huge one to ask yourself. A lot of this is because we are all being invited in this lifetime to wake up, to remember who we are, to activate your personal power within you. You actually have the power of your free will choice to consciously start making choices for what brings you joy, what brings you love, what helps you expand and sharing your own love. Yet many of us were programmed to survive. And in that survival mechanism, it was a lot of times based on fear of things or negative or things happening. That's the key of rewiring, shifting that into love. Having your brain be wired connected to love will then release the chemistry in your body of the hormones, of the love hormones, the expansive hormones, which then can help your health, help your relationships, help your finances within you. If you are signaling out the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn responses, those are just the survival responses, then you're only going to get limited survival results and keep hitting walls or having blocks or having limitations. So the gift is you get to rewire wire these. Yes, you do. And it's in your readiness and your free will choice. The other piece is that it is important to begin is to heal any of those wounds that you have within yourself. So any traumas you've experienced, any hardships, any difficult times in your life, those are actually meant to have some attention. And with PSYCH-K, it greatly can help with that in a very, very effective way, in a loving way, very transformational way. I've been using this tool for over 14 years now, and I love to serve and assist others with this one-on-one sessions. And I'm one of the certified PSYCH instructors. So I get to offer this as an online workshop and in-person workshop. So guess what? You can come learn this. Yes, you can, just like I did. And that's the gift. Like literally, you can have a tool that you can use on a daily basis for yourself, checking in with yourself, being real with yourself. Many of us have lots of funky days. There's a lot of transformations happening right now on this planet, definitely during this time. And the gift is you can move through this in more of a flow instead of having it be a struggle or having it be hard or difficult. If you'd like to live more in synchronicity and flow, connecting with your love and the trueness of who you are, then it's important to heal those parts within you, to give attention to those parts, to connect your love back to those parts. And that's what PSYCH-K has done for me and has done for all the clients that I have assisted and the partners that we work with. And it can do this for you too. So the last piece is to have yourself work with the subconscious level of yourself. Find a way that you can do that. PSYCH-K is one of the fastest, most effective ways to do that. Highly recommend checking it out. Check my links below so that you can check out my website and begin to learn, begin to grow, be curious about this. I was curious because at the time when I was married, my husband was sick, and that brought a humongous wake-up call for me. And within that year, Dr. Bruce Lipton's book showed up at my workplace, The Biology of Belief, and it literally transformed my life. Highly recommend that book, Biology of Belief. His other book is Honeymoon Effect. Both of those are fantastic. Yes! Be open to learning, open to growing, open to receiving all that's here for you, all the tools, because it is. There's so much here for you to help assist you, to clear your path, for you to live your highest life. Remember, you are a divine being here, having this human experience, and this is all here for you in great love. Have a beautiful day. Aho.